Well, hello there. Welcome back to the last week of July. Because this week is so excited, the weekly candle jumped so high on gold and Nasdaq. The reason is something which John told me already, but it will be really good if he says it again because it was really interesting.
Yeah,
John.
so first of all, I think the market's excited to see you back, Ayush. I don't think you should give all the credit to who I'm about to credit this to. But yeah, so it's been an interesting start to the week. So what we've basically seen is oil prices gap significantly lower. So this is Brent crude oil, and we closed on Friday around $98.75. And over the weekend have gapped about 12% lower. And the reason being is just the fact that the US and Iran have not necessarily bombed each other. So there's been like a pause over the weekend of, military escalation between the two nations. So because of that, the market has decided to just sell oil and buy risks. So we're seeing stock markets jump, gold, like you just mentioned, jump higher, on the assumption that there's going to be some kind of ceasefire off the back of this, which is, again, the market doing what it does, which is acting a little bit strange sometimes, which, there has been, from what I've seen so far, there are no official headlines of a ceasefire. I was showing Ayush what Donald Trump has been going on about recently, and this was one of the recent photos he released. It's on the Independent in the UK, so guardian of the world apparently. But there is still some bombing going on, and there's a stealth bomber of Iran. So how the market is assuming that this means there's going to be a ceasefire, I don't know. There are reports going around that apparently the US are running out of ammunition, so that's why they are not striking over the weekend. But the market has seen this as a big positive, and we're seeing a huge sort of rollover, although there are still reports of different areas like Jordan stopping, drones coming over and taking drones out of the air, and so I don't necessarily see how a pause in the action has caused such a large move. Seems a little bit irrational to me, because all I'm thinking about now is, well, if tonight we see a resumption of this of the military action, is that just like an easy sort of buy on Brent crude oil to see if we close that gap that we've had over the weekend? It just seems to me like the market has kind of taken a very small piece of information and decided to run with it. I can see here gold has obviously gapped higher as well, closed out the weekend at $4,052, and there's a gap to open as well. So, especially, it was an interesting day on Friday for gold, to be honest. Sorry, not Friday, Thursday, rolling into Friday, because, we saw this bullish price action here, but US yields at the time were skyrocketing. And I was like, there's no way gold maintains this little bullish run that it had. And then almost like we had like a head and shoulders pattern, broke down through that, and the market kind of came to a bit more of a realistic outlook. Now, gold has obviously gapped higher as well because US yields have gapped lower, because the macro sort of picture and window at the moment is positive US-Iran sort of headlines is oil lower. That's suggesting that future inflation is going to be lower, so yields are coming in lower. So dollars being sold off. So yeah, I mean, how this actually stacks up to like how long that rhetoric is now going to remain is going to be really interesting to see. It could just last today.
And
today could happen.
In the chat. I can read. They should kiss and make up US-Iran. No, I'm not going to do that.
Oh my God, can you do a Donald Trump impression?
Yeah, I can.
You can. Oh, I'd love for you to tell me what's going on now, Ayush, in a Donald Trump accent.
I mean, yeah, it comes when when I'm not actually doing it.
When you're just thinking about it. So yeah, I mean, seeing this happening and sort of carry on at the moment, it's to make trading decisions on the back of this is extremely difficult. It's because you've got a lot to think about, and this is where if you don't own like a news squawk or something like that in these conditions, it can be a little bit difficult. There are free ones out there that you can look into. Like, I think Financial Juice is free, but it might be delayed by a certain amount of minutes. But in these type of market environments, it's going to be so difficult to try and take really good trading decisions. In these type of environments, I arguably prefer to sort of scalp moves and day trade moves, because although the moves can get wiped out quite quickly, I know that if I have like a strong macro position on, and that can really flip in moments. So if I was buying oil all of the last 2 weeks because of what has been happening, something like that weekend risk could really, really hurt the trades that I've been taking. Whereas if I was day trading, I'd arguably have no risk over the weekend anyway. So, yeah, just interesting to see how it all kind of develops going forward.
Yeah. And also to mention you guys that in the chat is now turned on subscriber mode only. So if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button so you can write in chat like JSUP is writing something which I'm not gonna do, and you can see that we are on the gold chart, and it looks really, really good. It is really volatile on 3 minute. Let's see. Oh, it looks more great on the high time frame. So last week, price closed near this range stop, or you can say the high volume area. I was expecting that I knew that what next week would do. So my analysis was, if we close below this range, we can take this low, and or if we react from here, then we can go higher. And the market was already at highs. And John, what happened when I opened my phone? My trading view in my phone actually opened only in this much area. So I thought that it is not Monday, it is Sunday. So I got happy that okay, it is not the day. Let me sleep. My brother said no, it's Monday. Then I scroll a little higher to see the candle, and I said, oh shit, yeah, it's Monday. It's back in the trading. It's a very usual Monday we have. I think it's not the first time it happened with me anyway, but that's how it goes. So I actually managed to take a trade in this range. As you know that I love to trade in the range. For that, I have to open the multi-wave, obviously. Give me a minute. And it is here. So as you guys can see that now, I know it's in a range, but over here, I saw that some divergence happening in between silver and gold, and I took the opportunity. It was near the value area high. We saw a lot of absorption happening, so I was targeting the swing low. So selling at this price and looking at here and sell in the low volume areas. It's a really nice scalp. I'm not really looking anything, not in this area, but if we break out near 930 at the NY Open, we'll see something happening. I'm assuming the price is just gonna tap this trend line and this support level we have, which is at the opening. And going back to trading view and looking at, let's take a look at Bitcoin. And Jono, what do you think about Bitcoin?
I mean, it's kind of done what we were discussing last week. We were looking at the idea of it kind of rejecting at the daily swing highs at the kind of 66, 8,000 area, nice little area of resistance, which was this zone up in here. And this is I love looking at trading from kind of key highs and lows. It's really good evidence of where buyers and sellers have been in the past. So that to me makes sense that if you were long, let's say you were long from these 60k levels, you want to get out towards this 66, 800 area, because it just makes sense to do so. There's no point trying to hold through there. So usually at these kind of points, you get kind of like profit taken, and if you're getting profit taken on the buy move, then you're adding sell orders into the market essentially. So this move here was likely. We did discuss it last week as well, and I know we were looking at kind of trades in and around this area here for shorts. Now, if you would, I know Ayush took a short in and around here, but then obviously news volatility really kind of screwed with us at that point. I keep forgetting I wasn't on the stream Thursday and Friday, so when I'm looking at this, I actually thought this was Friday. But it was Wednesday. So yeah, I mean, we did see that kind of continuation to the downside. Eventually we did start kind of breaking through those kind of counter trend moves and seeing a breakdown. But now we've come down into the 63 sort of 750 area. We've rebounded. Arguably kind of looks like we're building some kind of, again, more like an inverse head and shoulders pattern with a potential for move to kind of break back to the upside, especially if we do see kind of risk on coming back in a little bit, then I wouldn't mind seeing a move higher. I know we did a lot of kind of correlations last week, and we were looking at how Bitcoin correlates with different sectors and stuff. And when I look at,
you are going to bring those lines again.
I'm going to bring them in. And obviously I was looking at sort of the correlation between the sorts of the NASDAQ and all that kind of stuff, and Amazon, I think we were looking at last week, and that. Obviously NASDAQ's kind of gapping higher as well at the moment because of that headline news, but it has been pretty bearish over the past few days, or past couple of weeks really. So I think if we start to see the sort of tech stocks pick back up, we start to see your NASDAQs moving higher, and your stock markets in general just feeling a bit more bullish, then I'd expect Bitcoin to start kind of heading back towards that high too. If we do see rejections, continuations to the downside, then I would expect Bitcoin to follow that as well. I mean, from a weekly chart perspective and from a selfish point of view, I really want the US stock market to fall, just because I think there'd be a good buying opportunity on that. That sounds like horrible, but from just a trading perspective, not a moral human perspective, I want to see kind of prices come in a little bit lower, just so I can have a nice buying opportunity. Usually around this time of year as well, we see the volatility rise. And I think that was the strange thing last week. Like, there was lots of escalation in the market, but volatility remained fairly flat. So I was expecting at least, VIX to be above 20s, seeing that move down, but we didn't really have that. So whether we'll get that this week, I don't know, but that positive data would likely see the VIX drop lower. But who knows? We've got a bit of data coming up in about 20 minutes as well, which is the durable goods orders. Whether they will have an impact, probably very unlikely. But yeah, the markets are, I like to call them a little bit weird at the moment. We've got lots of different things going on. I know that this is a crypto channel, but like dollar yen is heading towards October 1968 highs, which seems, insane. Like, I wasn't even born the last time price was, around these types of areas, which seems crazy to say. So, there's a lot of moving parts in markets at the minute, and I think that makes it incredibly tough to trade in that environment. So if you are trading at the minute and you are kind of losing, I won't panic, because I think a lot of people are in the same boat, to be honest.
Yeah. So I agree with the analysis on NQ, because I was looking at the price action on high time frame. I felt like we might test the this range high as well. Currently, we are, if we, I'm not going to apply volume profile. It's simply very clear that if we get some bad pressure coming in, and there is actually follow through near the support area, chances are really high that we might see lower prices on NQ, and it will be really good, retest again in this zone, because all we saw from April is just bullish momentum and this range. So coming back lower and then continuing higher towards the swing all-time highs makes sense for NQ. And that's what I'm hoping for after the NY Open. But let's talk about gold. I think same scenario we have. Do you think gold is going to visit this range if it fails to hold this price above? I think this is the comfortable area for gold. I know you have a lot of analysis on the geopolitical stuff. Do you think it's possible for gold to visit this zone if we fail to hold this support level?
Yeah, I mean, anything's possible. I don't like to, say that it can't happen, because I can only make an assumption of whatever can happen. But yeah, I think if we clear 3,800, it's the next kind of, or the least path of resistance is to the downside. And if we do see that kind of continuation lower, then yeah, that area that you're pointing out now, around that $3,450, around that point, would make sense for price to go to. I think what's quite interesting is the fact that gold prices are holding up near this level, and US yields have jumped up so high. So I think if we start to see those come off and we start to see yields drop lower, interest rate expectations for the future coming in lower, then I actually think gold stands a good chance to rebound at these levels. I was trying to look at the commitment of trader report data to see if there was anything interesting on gold, but there was nothing really. We're starting to get a few signals on sort of palladium, platinum, silver and stuff, but from a gold perspective, there's not really a huge amount to kind of look at right now, in terms of are traders getting aggressively long or short on gold. In fact, it is fairly flat when it comes to the positioning on a sentiment basis. So looking at the commercial positions here, I mean, we've kind of stuck around minus 200,000 contracts since, when's that? That's the 2nd of February of this year. We're just sideways, we've flatlined really on both the hedge fund side and the commercial side. So no real kind of aggressive, positioning coming in from a hedge fund point of view. So nothing really to go on here. Interestingly enough, we're starting to see a potential kind of short coming in for the US dollar index. Now this, obviously, they've just made the US dollar index kind of futures up there, but when you take a look at euro is the opposite. So euro futures really are starting to get to a stretched point. So what I'm looking for here is a continuation of this kind of dollar strength in the near term. And if that continues in the next kind of few weeks, then there might be some kind of extreme positioning that we can try and take a look at for a potential reversal of that kind of trend that we're seeing at the moment. But yeah, I think like I said before, I think it comes down to what these bond yields are doing now, still sky high. We were rallying up on the 17th of July and we stayed within this channel. As long as this continues, then I'm pretty much on the bullish US dollar sides. Looking at the dollar index as well, kind of breaking and holding that 100 spot 50, moving back higher. That puts pressure on things like gold. So if we see continuation of dollar strength, if we see a continuation of the US bond yields to the upside, then gold will probably break down. We probably will see a break of these.
It is breaking down.
Well, there you go. I am great at predicting markets. So yeah, as long as they remain like that, I see gold downside. And you know, sometimes I think about it and go like, we've gapped higher, but you know, this is why I like to look at the why, because it's kind of like, well, why has it done that? And it's, again, like, it doesn't make sense, does it? It's weird. Why is it gapped? Because there's an assumption that there's a ceasefire. Has anyone actually said there is one? No. So the phasing of this gap, it makes sense to me. It makes sense that we're starting to see that fade coming in. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the next kind of few hours. But I would say that gold has a more likely chance of pushing a little bit lower, more than anything, especially if we start to see this rebound here in crude. As long as that kind of continues to rebound higher, I'll keep an eye on sort of, you know, the headlines that are coming out. But look, you've got just at 10 minutes past 3, Saudi Arabia's defense ministry says it's intercepted drones from Iraq territory that attempted to target oil facilities. So we're starting to see, again, that kind of rhetoric of, okay, this escalation's not really paused. It's going to continue. So yeah, I think let's see how that one plays out. But as long as those things keep happening, as soon as they say a ceasefire's in place, gold's gonna rally, oil's gonna dump and things like that. But I think as long as that doesn't stay, you know, we've got a good chance of seeing some lower prices. From a technical point of view, you know, like I said last week, we had that kind of head and shoulders pattern. It's kind of tested the neckline of that now. We're consolidating towards that $4,100 area here. You know, if we break out of this could be a good level to look for a little bit of a sort of break and retest with a option to look for that close of that gap. That's something that I would be very, very interested in. So yeah, I'll probably keep an eye on that. I mean, you look like you've got some good levels on the go. I don't know what chart are you looking at there actually?
It's hype. It's not gold.
Oh, it's hype.
So because the people are saying that, you know,
Yeah.
I want to saw you. Okay, I always saw you in Discord. You are always trade high because hype is, you know, actually hyped, and it moves really good on the lower time frame. And yeah, hype moves very well over the weekend. Yet it does, because, you know, it's the best pair to trade on lower time frame, and it might look in a range on the 15-minute, you know, but you can trade this pair like you trade NQ, and I love this thing about this pair. PAX is useless over the weekend, and I don't trade PAX also on the weekend. I think I take a good look at the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and hype mainly, sometimes Doge. But I'm really aggressively gonna, you know, just waiting for price to visit the zone, and we might see some buying coming in near this area, and assuming that the next swing shot will be near 61.48. So yeah, that's my view. But if we see some confirmation over here on the 4-hour candle is about to tap it, maybe near the opening of the NY. No, it's too late. But if we see something happening here on the lower time frame, we might see some good push higher. This current range over here is acting as magnet, and if we see some price consolidating, something like that, we can go in this range back up. Or let's apply the volume profile from the swing low to swing high, like we do apply the Fibonacci tool. You can see that we have a lot of volume built up in this price action, so it makes sense for price to reverse and near the Asia session. If it does, then this can be the next good long target opportunity for us on the lower time frame. So that's what I'm planning on PAX. If we see something, we'll definitely take it. I'm not assuming that we are in a higher time frame bad trend, so not looking for shorts right now.
So when you look at trading hype and stuff, is there any kind of fundamental news that you can look at with cryptos? I've just seen something saying Hyperliquid prepares for major hype unstaking event. So I'm like, is that something that is driving prices lower?
Might be, but to be fairly honest, I see no news in any markets. It's just lower time frame
Fair.
execution. So it's for the longest trade I have held is for maybe 30 minutes, because the trade was in range. I'm talking about this month. So usually I scalp on lower time frames, and it does not really matter for me. It's more of like understanding the range and the trend and the market structure, and targeting the high volume areas and taking trades from low volume areas. It's as simple as that. So this is the reversal. I know on my chart everything looks same. What I'm gonna do is just remove this one, and we are gonna take a real good look at this price action. If price closes above, we might go for good longs, put a stop at this low, or maybe a little bit higher, just to keep it in the low volume areas and target this total top on hype. Let me know, Glenn, if you are watching the same thing on the low time frame and what time frame you like to execute. Are you gonna trade anything, John, or today?
Yeah, I mean, if I find something, I've not really looked at charts fully in depth today. Usually, on a Monday, I tend to kind of just research and have a look around at different things, especially because I had quite a busy weekend, so didn't really get a chance to do my sort of Sunday analysis as I usually would. So I've been playing catch up today a little bit, but yeah, I like a potential breakout opportunity on gold. I think if we can get below these lows here and kind of cement ourselves below the hourly 50 moving average as well. Happy to look for some short ideas back into Friday's close, potentially back towards the $4,000 area. So that would be a preference of mine to have a little look at. Like I said earlier,
the breakout came back in the range.
Yeah, it seems to be failing that little low, doesn't it, at the minute? So yeah, I think if we can kind of get out of that range first, show me that sellers are committed to taking prices lower, then I'm happy to kind of look for that breakout sell opportunity. I'll be keeping an eye on yields on the side. I think if this continues to rally and tries to close that, then that for me would cement that gold short position. So that one's going to be something I'm going to keep a close eye on. Bitcoin, I think I do like the idea of still being short. I think overall this market is still bearish, so I still want to be on the short side of this. But again, we're kind of just, it's not looking the prettiest chart, is it really? It's very, the longs have been very labored, but the shorts coming in have not really been aggressive, so we're very, very range bound right now. And this 65,300 area could be that little bit of a sticking point for price. You can see there's resistance here, resistance coming up into that again. So we might see a little bit of a move down, but I never really like it when I see price closing back near like a previous high or something, because it just makes me think that, we haven't seen a strong enough rejection to want to drive this price action lower still. So yeah, I'm not really looking at this thinking, is this going to aggressively go short? It's not really filling me with much ambition to try and trade that. I mean, maybe back towards this low, if I was looking at something very, very short term, maybe sort of like a move down to this 64,600 area. Perhaps something in and around there would be ideal for a little bit of a short trade. But again, it's going to be very, very short time frame if I'm going to be doing anything on that front. There's a strong level of resistance. Will it see significant selling coming in? I'll have to see. I think the gold's probably my favored chart at the minute. Want to see that breakout. If we see that breakout, then great.
Yeah, I think it is more of like absorption kind of area for me.
Yeah,
price is just going up in the fair value.
I mean, are you going to take it, Ayush? There was a moment last week where you didn't take one, and it rallied.
I think same thing we'll do. I think the last Thursday, no, not last Thursday, but yeah, last week Thursday we took a shot and it went really great.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was me and Mike, so you were not there. You missed my execution, mate.
So maybe Mike is actually the good luck charm for you.
Yeah, he is. Actually, he I don't know what kind of strategy he trades. He does not give a damn about the tools I use. He says, "Who looks candles?" And yeah, I'm gonna go long.
Yeah,
and it actually works. I know he trades a normal price action trader, but when you see price is heavily dropping lower, he'll say, "Oh, it's good for longs." When it's going so much higher with a good volume, he said, "Oh no, I'm gonna sell it." I don't know how he does that, but it makes sense. Sometimes it does happen because I am more of like a continuation trader. For me, I don't really like to catch the falling knife, so I always wait for trend confirmation and reversal, and then take in trade and continuation. Like you can see on the goal, even if you see good volume coming in at the swing low, I would not dare to take a long, only because there is a wick formed on this candle. And you can see that again it's going lower, and it's 8:30 and it's 1 hour for the NY Open.
Yeah,
I'm assuming NY Open would bring on something, and someone was saying, Glenn was saying that I ignore Sundays and Mondays. I'm cautious, like Luna said, Mondays not good. I feel Mondays and Fridays both are the best day to check your patience and trading, because imagine if you are green on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, you want to end this week so badly green on Friday, you will do everything you can, and sometimes you might lose your account. That's when you should challenge yourself. Okay, let's try, obviously use some tools or something like that to lock yourself out if things go wrong. But it's best days where you can test your patience, because I feel on Monday everything resets to zero, and you have to try to get that momentum back in again on charts. So I would not miss anything on Monday, and also on Saturday, Sunday. We don't touch the grass. We order it in a room, touch it, and throw it back out of the window. Because Tradeify crypto is 24/7. You can trade everything. Just forget about your friends and family. Just trade.
Yeah, I think Mondays as well. You're so eager to trade that sometimes you just try things that aren't there. You see things that aren't there because you just want to get back into the action that you saw last week. So yeah, I fully agree with that. That's why I think a lot of the time I try and spend Mondays as a bit more of a research day, just to kind of prevent myself from doing anything stupid. Not that I wouldn't necessarily trade Mondays. I definitely trade Mondays, but sometimes I like to just see how Monday opens and how the market's positioning. Especially, I like to see where the US session is come Monday, just so I can see like what the big markets are thinking before going in on Tuesday. Plus, I like to trade with like previous days market profile levels and things like that. So now we've had such like a huge gap up. It's kind of like, wow, are we, what are we looking for here really? Are we going to see a move all the way back down to sort of Friday's price action, or we're revisiting old price action? So yeah, I kind of like to see Monday get out of the way, just so I know kind of, or not necessarily know, but get on a feeling of what the market's going to do. Now you've mentioned a few ICT concepts in the past.
Yeah.
So does ICTs, I'm trying to remember this right, because I know my dad also trades, right?
Yeah.
So it's in the family. And he mentions ICT to me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I forget because there's so much going on when he talks to me about it that I just think, I can't keep up sometimes. But he talks a lot about Monday setting the tone. Is it Monday or Tuesday setting a low or the high of the week or something?
Yeah.
Is that something that you believe as well? Or
no. So the thing is that can you switch over to my screen, please, sir? Please. I can break it down why they say it. So Roman, ICT is for kids. I mean, I'm a kid.
Well, my dad, I assure you, is not a child.
Yeah. So Roman is taking notes. Finally, he knows what's popping up in the industry. So yeah, can you share my screen, Roman? Yeah. So I know they say that the low of the week mainly forms in the Monday, Tuesday, and the candle closes. You can see this open, low, high close, but not always that it is guaranteed that the low will form in the Monday or Tuesday, because many times I have seen price would not make a low and just continue higher. So for me, it's more of like understanding the market cycle and just looking for another range or maybe comfortable area for price to go. So it's like if price is in a range and there we have another range of the left, I'd be more excited to take a long, and if the price is in an uptrend especially and there is a range on the left, I would target that instead of just wishing that the low and this and that will form today or somewhere around here, because it's really useless to take a guess of these levels, because you are not letting market to do the thing. You're forcing your analysis over some strategy which is going to ruin your psychology, that if it will not happen according to your analysis, it might ruin your brain, because that's not how market works. I let it flow and follow the lead, and there are some good topics of ICD which really gave me good insights, which is power of three: accumulation, manipulation, distribution. But the rest, you have heard that there is NVOG and NDOG, the gaps and stuff. But for me, it's like, so the gap you see over here, they will name it with new week opening gap. So they'll mark this. I don't know if I'm doing it right or wrong, but I'll name it as NVOG, new week opening gap. Or I can, to make it more fancy, let's add some spice and write low. And this is new week opening gap low. And let me make my chart look so cool that they might think that I'm doing something. And HIGH high and walk high, and what I'm going to do is, to make it look more scary, I'm going to use Fibonacci tool, and whatever level price will tap here, I'll say, you see, price tapped 25% level and went higher. You see, price tapped the 50% went higher. So that's what I don't really like about the people on the internet saying it, whatever level taps, and they make it look like a god level they called out early and it happened. That's what creates ego in market and ruins your psychology. That's where there are many ICT haters as well, even if he has a cult following. So that's what I believe, that the chart is not a drawing, or not a sketch or on paper where you can just throw all shits and make it look like so good that the people will think that it's something new. But for me, it's a gap. It's a gap. If I see good volume in this gap, I'll buy. If there is no volume and bad volume follow through, I'll sell it towards the next range. So, I mean, some concepts are really good, but if you will try to learn everything and from every video available on YouTube about him, then there's you will be in the death circle and you will never find a way out.
Fair. Thanks for the analysis. I appreciate that. I feel like I'm learning something new every day.
No, you're not learning anything new. You're just repackaged thing.
Repackaged.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm not saying that the strategy is really bad. because there are a lot of people doing really great with this strategy. It's like how you can use it, because you see people doing really bad with order flow. There are some people doing really great with order flow. There's some traders who does really bad with market patterns. Bear flag, bull flag. People say it doesn't work. I must say that nothing works in market every single day. Sometimes you see head and shoulder work. Sometimes you might see double top work. Sometimes you might see double bottom work. You can't expect everything to repeat in this market. It's like understanding that what should I use here, and So at the end of the day, I think we all are going to bow down to market structure and the trend. Simple as that. If you don't know that, then there's no ICT or order flow is going to really help you. So yeah, I think I went so deep in, but to come back.
I got you so rolled up then that you were like, you were just going for it, and I love it. I love it.
So Jisoo is saying if you learn the actual thing, things will make more sense. I mean, yeah. So ICT is in fact estimation of order flow for kids. So it is. People say that it is order flow. It is, but they are actually looking at the wrong sometimes fair value gaps where there is, what is the definition of fair value gap? There is efficiency, imbalance, but not FVG carries an actual imbalance. Low volume areas are real fair value gaps which you should use for supply demand. So that's the thing. I mean, that's why it works. But some people have figured out how to use it, and some are still finding it. Or maybe many people are shifting from ICT to order flow. And that's why we have many videos coming in for people who are trying to, but add some confluences in ICT trading style, which you're really comfortable with. But adding an extra tool will increase your probability, which is volume profile. So I have made a video on IFVG and volume profile, which will be coming up soon on the channel. And there are many videos already uploaded, so watch them first. And this one will surely help you, because I use some concept of his as well, but not every. So, yeah.
Awesome. What would you say? Okay, so if you use some of it, what's the most valuable thing you've taken away from it?
Oh, it's power of 3. It's AMD. I think there are many names of it. Okay, open high, low close, open low, high close. So yeah, I mean, every single thing makes coming to a same point. At the end, I should call it market structure. Market structure gave me everything. So yeah. And before using volume profile in Forex market, in the Euro GBP, I was always targeting the range, but then I realized, I came to know about the volume profile, and then I applied it, and it makes sense. Okay, oh yeah, that's why the market is always coming towards this zone. And before that, I just, when you spend enough time on the market, you realize that okay, what is actually repeating every single time. Not the entry area, but the pattern. You see that every single time market will react from XYZ areas, and you makes your own understanding of the price behavior. So I started using the range as a magnet, and then I realized that volume profile is pointing the same thing. That's why I added it in my Confluence. So that's why it's a win-win for me. It's not something I'm using completely very different or out of blue topic, which will ruin my model in the market. So yeah.
Fair enough. I like that.
There is no ICT damage. A choice that holds is in fact as oversold price, where price trap the sellers and the red delta. Yeah, so he's throwing some sauce. I understand what you're trying to say, Jisoo. Yeah. So do you know what choice is?
I probably know what it is, but I don't know what that means.
No, it's reversal confirmation. It's like if market is forming lower low. I don't know if I'm wrong or right, but let me show you. It's lower low, and if if we fail to make a new lower low and break the previous swing high, and it is a reversal confirmation, That's where we call this
Okay.
Doge change in of market structure, something like that.
Okay, so I just call that a change of trend.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's exactly what I actually look for when it comes to, trading opportunities. So
yeah,
I always look for a lower time frame change of trend before I get into a trade. So it just kind of like helps cement my idea of kind of what's happening. So when I always kind of look at sort of day trading euro or whatever, I'll have sort of 3 screens. I'll have my higher time frame on the left hand side, my kind of medium time frame in the middle, and then my lower time frame on the right. So I'm always looking to see if I can match up these time frames really. If I can get, let's say for instance, when I look at euro dollar here, I can see the market has made a double top, it's broken down, it's made a new lower high, right? So that's exactly what you're looking at there. I will then try and match that up. Just got the MetaTrader thing going off again. I'll try and match that up on a 5-minute time frame to then try and take trades on sort of a lower time frame. That's if I'm sort of in the day trading mode. But even if, sometimes I'll look at this as a weekly, daily 4-hour, right? Instead, trying to kind of match all these up together to try and take a position. So yeah, I mean, it's exactly the same thing, really. It's exactly the same concept, but like you said, it's just been repackaged, and I guess with all the new terminology and stuff, it sounds fresh, it sounds new, so people think it's a new concept.
Yeah.
But it sounds to me like it is just the usual stuff, to be honest. But not necessarily.
I mean, on the social media, the war is more about the strategy that mine is better, and no, mine is better, yours is shit and stuff like that. But if you are new to the market, you just have to keep the both parties aside, and you have to pick something which you like to use, not because someone is using and getting inspired and using it for yourself.
I mean,
the worst way.
I always say I'm very open to ideas. I'm very open to different concepts. So if somebody comes to me and says this thing works, then I'm always open to listening to what that is. And I think it'd be stupid to not listen to people that you obviously think know more, or they do know more, because they might have something interesting to kind of provide, and then that little bit of information might completely change the way that you think about markets or something. But yeah, I never really looked at like market profile, volume profile, and order flow and all that kind of stuff until I started trading futures, and then that is a concept that I've continued to use going forward because I could see the value in it and the value that it provided me. So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of strategies out there now are probably very similar. But then it all comes down to risk. It's how much you risk. I think
the best thing we should add in this is just the entry confirmation and the where to take your profit, because people like very early we find out what's happening, how it's working, and when you find the click, but it will take few more months or maybe years to just figure out the entry area and also the how much you should take it, because I was targeting 1:3, 4, 5 in beginning, and then I just lowered it and increased the number of trade and the number of risk to reward. So it's more of like maybe 1:1. I'll take 2 or 3 trades a day, but will never target 1:3 if I don't really feel like to take it.
Yeah, no, that makes 100% sense.
So what chart you have on your screen right now? It looks really interesting.
This is euro dollar, so I was just kind of having a little look at sort of last week's sort of price action and seeing what was going on. But this is like a classic example of
Yeah.
of how you can try and refine, your trades and what you're looking for. Like the trend on euro is it's I'd say neutral to bearish, right? If you look at the higher time frame, it kind of looks like Bitcoin, right? Where it's just kind of like gone sideways for the past how many days and whatever.
Yeah.
So it kind of looks like Bitcoin on this 4-hour chart. And I like the idea of still buying US dollars. So I would then try and find strong levels of support and resistance to kind of look for trades opportunities. So if my bias was bearish euro, I'd be like, okay, well, it's bearish euro because of X, Y, and Z. Where could I get involved with that? So I just looked at the weekly market profile, and I saw that obviously today the market has come into this weekly sort of high volume area and has formed like a classic sort of double top pattern, broken through. But then it's come down, and look where it's sort of tested. It's tested that, point of control down through here, and it's starting to have a little bit of a reaction before the US session comes and rolls through. So, that to me would have been something that I, in theory, would look at. I would have looked at how price reacted at this area here. If I felt that it was rejecting and giving me the right things to look at, then I would be looking to sell down to kind of different areas of support. So you got like the value area high, point of control, value area low, and I'd use these as kind of like my T1, T2, T3 sort of areas, to try and see how far price could kind of break down through those. So that's how I would try and refine it and look at it. Sometimes I try and I try and add in at least 3 positions every time I take a trade. So I'll be looking at sort of maybe the initial reaction, because I always try and work as well on reward to risk ratios. So I'll be like, okay, well, I'm looking at this thinking, where's my safe stop loss? Where's the safest stop loss that I can place? So I'd be like, well, the safest stop loss I can place is above that high. Now, when I look at that, I think, well, actually, if I was to go, let's just say I took a market execution at 114.10, that sort of point of control. If I put my stop at the safest place, that's 26 pips away. Do I have enough to, space to get down to that with a reasonable reward to risk ratio? So that's 30 pips target for 26 pip risk. I'd be like, it's okay. It's not the best, but it's obviously above 1-to-1, which is fantastic. But I want to try and maximize that reward to risk. So I would probably then be looking at where that edge of that kind of ledge area is there, and saying to myself, that would probably be a good stop loss as well, where we start to see the volume starting to dip off a little bit. So that then allows me to have a much healthier reward to risk ratio. So if I did get short at that sort of point of control, then instead of having a 26 pip stop, I could have a 10 pip stop, maybe even want to give it a little bit of a buffer above that 12 pip, 15 pip. And that gives me room to try and target these kind of lower levels. So the value area high of the previous day is 22 pips. So immediately I've got above a 2R reward to risk ratio. If I go for the point of control, I've maximized that. So whenever I'm planning a trade, I'm always thinking about, okay, where's the best possible price that I could probably get in? Where's my safest stop loss? Is there somewhere where I can try and find where that place could be, or where I'm happy with? And then it's about, okay, well, where's the target going to be? That's just, where's that kind of, where can I build that picture to do that? So, that is how I would plan a trade, to be honest. I would be looking to plan it out by looking at, where's my best entry, where's the stop, where's my target. I think a lot of traders just get in and they think, oh, I'm just going to put my stop above the high. And that's when they can get taken out. I mean, this is a perfect example of that really as well. There's almost like a double top before the main one that comes out. So if you had got short, let's say there was a rejection there, you got short here, put your stop above the high, you'd been taken out.
Yeah.
Again, if you think, oh, well, now there's a false breakout, I'm short below that low, stop above the high, you're taking out again. And then you're thinking,
No, not this time.
Not again. Do you know what I mean? And then the next one comes off and you're too scared to pull the trigger then because you've just been stopped out twice. So if you had just spent a little bit of time of thinking, okay, where is that safe stop? You would have avoided all those losses. And, in this example here, for instance, it would have turned out okay. It doesn't mean that it's, you can't get stopped and whatnot, but you're just trying to reduce the probability of you getting stopped. So yeah, that's the way I would look at it. And then if I wanted to kind of add into the positions, I'd be looking at my lower time frame, looking at sort of really classic trading patterns. I can see here we've got a bit of a sort of ascending triangle. That could be an add-in for me as long as the risk reward makes sense. Silly as it sounds, moving average with a stochastic overbought, it sounds stupid, but in a trending market, it works pretty well. So you could also look at these types of trades in there too. So that's the way I would kind of like map the trades out. So when I'm looking at gold, prime example of this is, okay, well, again, if I get a trading opportunity on this, where is that trade? And where is the kind of, I guess, the value here? So we've got that consolidation building, so I can see there's that accumulation's building up. Initially, where's the potential target? So if I look at the market profile here, I could say, well, I've got a target down at value area high here or point of control at 4,054. Okay, so map those areas in. So that's going to be my first point of support, really, for me, those two kind of areas. Mm-hmm. So I'll be like, okay, well, if that's the area to target, how am I going to get on that? If I was to get short now, where's my safe stop? It's above that high. So it takes out the value area high there immediately for this type of trade. I'll be like, well, that's just too much. I can't do that. So I'm going to have to think of, maybe using a lower time frame trade to take this position. So maybe I could look at the 5 minute and I could look at a break and retest with a tighter stop loss. If I drag a market profile over current price action, where does that lead me, right? So again, maybe I could have a bit of a tighter stop towards that $4,100 area where that kind of value area high is, just above that, maybe give me a bit of protection there. Or if we break down, reject the value area low, maybe I can put my stop above that point of control, So it kind of just gives you a little bit more of a sort of breathing room to think about what to do next.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the way I kind of look at it.
So basically break down how you start your day, analyzing the chart from higher time frame to lower time frame and the previous day volume profile and the structure, and looking at the key levels which are printed on the daily. That's exactly what I follow, and you imagine not doing that and trying to trade on lower time frame is really scary. You don't know what's happening.
Yeah. I don't know how people don't use some of the. I think it's one of those things. Once you've discovered it as well, it's hard to not use it. And I think if that's the case, then you want to be using it a lot. Oh, I can see Mike's here. Hi, Mike.
Oh, and before we do something, the like target for today's stream is 20 times 2. 40. So 40 likes, and we do the giveaway with Tradeify Crypto. So just pump it. I'm waiting for the guy who buys likes.
Yeah, and remember, chat is subscriber mode only at the moment. So if you do want to have a chat, get involved in the conversation, hit that subscribe button.
Exactly. So if you want to perform in the giveaway, you have to subscribe to the channel. Then only you'll be able to participate in the giveaway, because we tell our viewers to write some word in chat in order to participate in the race. And we at the 9 a.m. open, I always look at the 9 a.m. opening because it really kicks my bottom whenever I'm trading That's mine, because it's more of like staying away from 9 to 9:10. So it's like a 1 hour break, waiting for market to form a structure. It's like pre NY and after post NY, and then trading at the 10 a.m. open. I know 10 a.m. was really scary this month because for consecutive 2 days, Trump tweeted something at 10 a.m. and we had really bad spikes. Maybe he started waking up late, but thanks to God, he's again waking up at 8 a.m. So, do we have some news for this week, or the calendar is empty?
Oh no, it's a heavy news week this week. We've got a lot going on. I'm just going to do it on Forex Factory because it's a little bit easier to navigate. It's very zoomed in right now. This looks like I'm one of those guys that needs glasses, and to be honest, I do, but that is not the reason. Trust me, it's just it looks a little bit. Let me just zoom it back a little bit. When you take screenshots of it, it's easier to take it in that view.
Yeah, Jonathan.
Yes.
Can you just give me a minute? I have to tell the parent of the kid that he should stop shouting. I'm generally going to go in this country.
No, you fair. I'll talk everybody through what's going on for the week ahead. So you crack on. So yeah, like I said, big data week. Not only do we have big significant earnings coming out this week, we also have huge central bank data. We have Federal Reserve interest rate decision of the Bank of England, and I mean maybe the Bank of England ones you won't necessarily care about too much, but the two ones that I think you should really care about is the Fed funds interest rate decision, and also I would say the Bank of Japan as well, because of the volatility that might create. So when it comes to the Federal Reserve interest rate decision, we are expected to see rates hold at 3.75%. But if we take a look at the CME Fed Watch tool, we can have a little look at what the pricing looks like and how that pricing has changed. So when I talk a lot about bonds and bond yields, this is where this kind of talk comes into it, right? When I'm looking at interest rate expectations going forward. So this is the CME Fed Watch tool. It's absolutely free. If you want to go check it out yourself, I will drop it in the chat now, and you can have a little bit of a look at that. And basically what this does, it shows you the Fed meetings coming up. So the next meeting is on the 29th of July, which is in 2 days. And there is a 66.3% chance of no change and a 33.7% chance of a hike. So picture this, like if you go down to the table here, and this is why we've seen yields run up so much, is because a week ago, he's back. The kid is also quiet, I can hear. So Ayush has quickly gone out, hit him with a bat, and has come back. But yeah, so basically what this is showing us at the bottom here, this bottom table that I'm kind of highlighting right now, let me just bring in a pen. You have, that is not a good color for that color background. There we go. So you have the current rate, which is 350 to 375, and then what it's expected, which is 375 to 400. So that's, they call it basis points, but to us that's 4% or 3.75%. But last week there was only a 16% chance that the Fed would hike interest rates going into the 29th meeting. Now there's a day ago it was 37.4%. Now it's 33%. So what bond traders are trying to do is price in whether the Fed are going to hike, cut, or hold. And the conditions right now are changing that rapidly that we're seeing such a fluctuation. So last month it was around 29.9%. Now we're starting to see that move higher. So there could be a genuine surprise that if this gets closer to 50% going into that meeting, then it's basically the Federal Reserve interest rate decision becomes a coin flip, and at that point there could be some really big moves in the market. So if we did see, let's say, the Federal Reserve, who are not are fully expected to hike this meeting, if we did see them hike, that would usually see yields spike higher, the US dollar gets stronger, so your gold prices are falling, perhaps your Bitcoin US dollar price would fall as well. So it will have a very big sort of reaction to that. Now, when we go to September, there's actually a potential for another 25 basis points hike to come. So this is the meeting where we're expecting the hike. So on the 16th of September, it says 80.8% chance that the Federal Reserve are going to hike interest rates. So let's say, we get a surprise hike. I don't think we will, but we might get a bit more of like a hawkish tone from Fed Wash. But if we did, then the chances of a hike in September, especially a 25 basis points hike, I think will increase too. And then it's about, do we see hikes beyond that? So the market at the start of this year was pricing in 2 cuts, and now it's gone completely the other way to 2 hikes. So, and that's all down to the Iran war that's going on, and that will have a big, detrimental impact on your gold trades and things like that. Mm-hmm. Like I said as well, you might not care about the other currency ones. So, I mean, I do, but you guys might not be interested in that at the moment. But things like core PCE price index is also going to be big. That is what used to be the preferred sort of inflation metric used by the Federal Reserve. If that increases, there's a more chance of a rate hike. If that decreases, there's less chance of a rate hike. And if it persistently lower, you could see rate cuts. So that's another important event to keep your eyes on going into this week. And then the BOJ one, I think, is an underrated one because, like I said earlier, dollar yen is trading to October 1968 highs. Usually we've seen an intervention by now, and we haven't. And interventions can cause a lot of aggressive volatility in the market. So I think the last time we had a really significant intervention was July. So we had one in April, but that was almost like it wasn't necessarily, I don't know if that one was confirmed. I can't remember. I'd have to go look on the Bank of Japan website. I'd have to see that one was confirmed. But the kind of real big last one that we had was back in July, and prices dropped quite considerably at that point. So I would like to see how that did impact gold, because I've not technically looked at that too much. But if I was to go back and look at July 2024, let's see if it did have any kind of impact. If it didn't, then we're probably fine, and you can say ignore it. But there's a bit of a jump up in gold prices then, so maybe we saw a lot of liquidation of dollars and Japanese yen, so that would have been a sell-off in US dollars. Gold prices did rally a little bit, but not as aggressively, of course. Yeah. So yeah, in terms of data coming up, big week. Usually I find that when we do have news weeks like this, the dollar is technically stronger. I just find that when you see and open that news calendar and you see red folder data, I would be bullish US dollars, to be fair, that week. It's kind of like a rule of thumb for me. You're back, Ayush. The kid is not crying anymore.
Nah, I mean, he's still back because, the kid is not someone I was expecting. But he's a child of a really danger lady in our society. So I'm not really going to call danger toward myself. I just told the kid, just keep quiet.
Yeah.
Can't go.
You were like, do you not realize I'm trying to short gold right now?
Oh.
Is that what you said to him?
So I'm assuming your stop would be above this wick and you're targeting the range.
I was asking you. I thought you might be short already. I thought you were going in.
I like looking at the high time frame structure. Yeah, it looks something which I would take, but my stop would be really wide if I take it. It's like putting stop at this high and take profit at this previously resistance now into support kind of area. So this area would be something which I would really look for to book my profits. because I previously mentioned that, if I'm targeting the range, if I'm selling it, I would target the range high. If I'm buying it, I would target the range low. So just in case if we tap here, and if you see some price going going towards the higher prices, I would target the swing low, the range low, just to be safe. So yeah, and I think John is making a lot of money. It's just going lower. And 20 minutes for the NY Open. Let's see how it goes. 40 likes is no problem. Jesu has 100 emails account. I think it could get really tough for him to just the kid doesn't worth it. Ayush, you are already in equation.
Why can't people just assume you're in prison?
Yeah. Sorry?
People are assuming you're in prison.
That's the same thing my dad said when I bought this. I don't know why. So I have to assume that it actually looks like I'm a prisoner.
I would have thought that would have been like an orange jumpsuit, though. Do you know what I mean?
And then it would have been given more ideas,
Yeah.
Next time I'll wear pink.
Yeah.
Let's see what you guys say. The pajama. Oh, so you want with strips. The pajama with pink strips. Yeah, pink. Look at them. Oh no. So yeah, the hype, the area I was talking about, rejection at this price level, but you can see that, again, we are going lower. I'm not saying that it is gonna go bearish, but after 9:30, if we see, again, price moving up higher, then we'll take long on hype, because I'm really expecting that price will either go towards this range or maybe this range where there is low volume. So this is a next support area. Let me mark it green, not this. Okay, anyway, it makes sense. And this is again here working as resistance. So these are the two areas I'm looking at. And as I mentioned, that I would be happy to buy at this price and remove maybe and take profit at this level, but it's just not enough confirmation for continuation higher as a continuation trader. For a reversal trader, it might be a good idea for longs, and for ICT traders, the IFVG. I'm not sure if the IFVG is IFVGing, but not yet. So yeah.
What's your plans for this week then, Ayush, on trading? What's your main focus? Are you going for what's your most traded asset? Do you think is it gold? Do you trade that every day?
And NQ as well.
NQ as well.
Yeah.
So NQ, what are you thinking on NQ?
On NQ, I think I had a really good breakdown on Motivate. So let's go there, because I was actually looking at it. Let me share my screen then. We'll break down from higher time frame to lower time frame. So let's go on the daily first, and let's see if Motivate wants me to. Yeah, okay. Motivate does care about my presentation. So just gonna wait for volume profile to print. But currently, if you see that the price is tapping the higher time frame support area, where I do not think that price is actually gonna hold it. I'm assuming the price will go lower, and also we have low volume area, which is going to be again soon gonna present, because it's very normal for the software to take some time to calculate the volume and the price level. If we go long, I have marked this area where I'm expecting for long. So yeah, you can see that the price is actually above the value area high, and also taking support at this low volume node, or you can say the edge of the high volume node. If we close lower, the next support level is at 26,230. That's my high time frame analysis. I'm not a swing trader, but I like to keep an idea that what's really happening on the daily, just to perform well on the lower time frame. And now, slowly coming to the 4-hour, you can see that the price is tapping the value area, low area, which is acting as resistance. So if we fail to close above, or even if we go higher, this is where the next stop I have for price to take a resistance and then go lower on the 4-hour. And going back to 1-hour, you can see that we are kind of forming a D profile, D-shaped volume profile. So I'm assuming that near this low volume areas, okay, this is not the tool. Near this low volume area, we might see price coming back in the range, or maybe going aggressively lower if we see good volume coming in. So that's my take. So 1-hour is the last station for me to analyze, the structure. So we have idea of daily time frame, the 4-hour and the 1-hour, and last is 15, which is pretty much same. And you can see on the chart that price is in a range at the value area high and the value area low, taking resistance and support. At 9:30, if price somehow breaks above this value area high, we might see rejection near this area, or maybe this swing point at this area, and then come back lower in this fair value or point of control. So that's my view on NQ, and will perform after 1 hour of the NY opener. That's near 10 a.m. or 10:30. That's where I try to trade. So not really active at 9:30 or during the opening of the market, because that's where you see a lot of spikes coming in, a lot of volume. A chances are really high that you might, even if you have good analysis and your model is performing well and you have good edge, it might get ruined by the volatile session or candle. That's why I like to stay away.
So do you look at anything to do with like the initial balance or anything like that then?
No.
Okay.
Just market structure and areas, and sometimes I use the correlation with ES as well. So it's like strength and weakness. Let's go on the lower time frame. I don't know if I can show you. So yeah, you can see that this shoulder, the right, or maybe not shoulder, this high is actually really higher on NQ, you can see, but on ES it is not. Price is failing to close above. There is a lot of buying. They are getting absorbed at this price level. So for me, it will make more sense to sell ES than NQ because it looks weaker to me. So chances are really high that ES will take the swing low first than NQ. And you can see that I think it is, yeah, you can see that ES took the swing low first than NQ. That is not much of a big difference, but that gives me an idea of the market structure and thing. Over here, you can see that ES is taking the swing high, NQ failed. So if I see some bad pressure coming in, I would sell NQ, not ES. It's like market structure. If I'll sell the weaker one and I'll buy the stronger one just to be on the right side and increase the probability of market to hit my take profit. It can be a swing low or swing high. So yeah, that's how I trade NQ.
Okay, using correlations.
Yeah,
my favorite.
That's why I pulled it. You get more potential.
No, I love it. No, I was. I only asked about the initial balance because I've been building an indicator, just looking at the initial balance and looking at the sort of deviations away from it as like target areas. So when price breaks out of the initial balance, which is that first hour of the trading window that you were just talking about, so that first sort of 9 a.m. open or 9:30 open to sort of 10:30 open, and then if it breaks out of that, can it offer a trade opportunity or can it offer a sort of a mean reversal sort of situation? Now, what I've got here at the moment is a sort of initial balance dashboard, which I'm just testing at the moment, which basically looks at the size of the initial balance. And if there is let's say for argument's sake that the opening sort of in 10 minutes and the hour goes by and the trading range is very small, very tight, there can be a higher probability of a breakout. So you can see here I've got like market condition awaiting initial balance completion, but also statistical probabilities. So what it looks like is takes the average of the last 14 trading days, puts that into a little sort of average ATR move, and then it will say that if the initial balance is below that average ATR move, there's more probability of a breakout. If there is higher than the average over the past 14 days, then the chances are that we're likely to kind of stay a little bit range bound. So that's something that I'm looking to test a little bit. So I just thought I'd get thoughts on
I
that.
think we'll keep it short. Are you going to share with us the Holy Grail?
If it works, if it works, it needs a lot more testing first. I need to kind of figure out what the best strategies are, because I like the idea of the mean reversion trade on it, but the chances of that happening are a lot lower. So when I tested it, so basically what I mean by that when I say mean reversion is when it take Friday, for example, price broke out and came into the standard deviation, the first standard deviation, I'd be looking to short that standard deviation back to the initial balance, potentially back to the 50% of that initial balance. But those types of trades can be quite rare to come around, but they do have a higher statistical edge. So that particular strategy has a 72% win rate versus a breakout of the initial balance, which has around about 45% win rate. But the breakout of the initial balance does tend to have a bigger move, so it has a better reward to risk ratio as well. So you've got to try and balance which one you're more comfortable with. So once I kind of get the gist of which strategies do have better potential and over a longer period of time, I need more data basically to test it over. So once I have that data to test it, then I'll share a few things. I'm interested though if anyone else, Doug, with the use of AI, develops their own sort of indicators and stuff, and if they have, I'd love to know what they've developed and why they've developed it. I look a lot at initial balance because when I was futures trading the euro, I would look at the first little bit of a session as well, combine that with kind of like order flow, market profile, volume profile and stuff, and so that's why I'm looking a little bit at the initial balance. So if anyone has an indicator that they've built, I'd love to know why. Obviously, the one that you see on my charts here, because you can't necessarily get market profile in MetaTrader. So I actually built one using Claude. I just gave it all the parameters of what market profile is. Can't necessarily use volume because it's not centralized. So I've used what I think is the next best thing, which is market profile, which is basically based off of how long the chart has remained in that particular area. So I basically built this to kind of show me that, and I made it adjustable, whereas they do have one in MT5, I think it is, but it's not that great and it gets quite clunky when you add it. So I'm wondering if anyone else has used it. Everyone's saying I see no robot in here, which would probably be the person that is saying that they would.
Yeah, I think he's the only one.
But I'm not very. I wouldn't say I'm very technically gifted around. Someone said he's charging. That's funny. But yeah, so I like to look at the tools that help and try and build those tools. So, I mean, you could probably build I don't know if people use different types of charting, but you could probably build that for MT4, MT5. Maybe there's a software that you like out there, and you could probably try and replicate it in something in the charting software that you use. So I think AI is really good for doing those things. So yeah, that's why I went about building this initial balance one, because something I've used in the past, and I thought, oh, you know what, I'll see if I can bring it to MetaTrader and see if I can just add a few elements to it. So have you built anything for the platforms that you use?
Oh, I have built some indicators previously on with use of ChatGPT when it was a lot popping up. So taking open source codes and applying it for the new custom indicators for the EMA and stuff. I can show you if it will be still. Yeah, it is still on my trading view. I'll show it to you. I created for my brother who was trying to learn trading, and he's no more trying to learn it. But I tried.
What did you do to him? What did you do? What did you do?
I'm going to share it a bit. He was really bad with understanding of the trend, so I created an EMA indicator.
Okay.
So
try and help him out. You thought, I'm going to build something to try and help him out.
Yeah. So on the
That's very nice of you, by the way, to do that.
No, I just want to shoot him away. don't try this.
So you built him a bad indicator.
Yeah. So yeah, you can see that the red candles means it is a bearish trend. If it's going making higher high, it's bullish. So it's basically invisible form of EMA, which is 40, 48, and 21. I just decrease the opacity, so you can see if it is bearish, it will form red candle. If it's bullish, it will form green candles. If it's in between the bands, it will form the green area, because he was really bad with understanding of the trend. So I made this, and there are some sections where you can change it if you are a higher time frame trader, not a higher but 15-minute time frame trader. You can see this. Maybe I should not talk about NQ always because it's a crypto stream. We are coming back to gold. You can see that the price is going lower, so it is forming red candles. It's just candle closing below the EMA band and understanding the trend. So yeah, I created this for him, and he's like, chart looks like a casino, or he said something like that, or maybe he said Minecraft. So I said, you should go back and play games. Don't try to touch this, or it will be more bad. So that's the last indicator, the first and last indicator I created for him. And I don't know if I want to make a tool for myself, I would make a tool where I can copy trade from CFD to futures and futures to CFD. Do you have something in your head that works well for copy trading? I know the contract, well, in futures we have contracts, in the CFD we have lot sizes, and the calculation is really different. So let's say if I want to copy trade both together, is there any way? Because I have found no tool. If I wish to make one, but
I have not found a tool for that either. So that's probably a pretty good idea. Maybe something to definitely explore.
Oh, anyway, cause that.
Yeah.
It's making money. It's going lower. It is going lower. I don't know if Jonathan was saying that we should put our mic closer to our mouth. So Do you think the sound is so? When I put mic closer to my mic, there was one viewer joining us, so I think it worked. You should try it as well.
Is this too close?
Oh my god, yeah.
Is this a bit better?
Yeah, it's much better.
Yeah. I have a really awkward desk though, so like I can't actually, and the wire of my microphone is awful. Like if I touch it, it'll just freak out.
Oh.
And not in a good way either. Whatever that means. No comment.
That's why I was so silent. It's like, okay, I'm gonna get this pass. So I'm assuming that you might risk-free a trade depending on your target. I think it reached 50% area of what you were targeting.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably look for a bit of a sort of break and retest of this zone. So
to re-enter.
I would look for an add-in. I'd look for an add-in on this.
Okay, so I think this area looks good then at the lows.
But you've got market open right now, so this could just do
Oh
absolutely
yeah.
wild things right now. So
and NQ. Yes, I think everything is falling. I think everything is bearish. And I'm assuming even if the 930 candle tries to hurt your entry, we do have a lot of consolidation near your entry area. So I think it's a safe play. And this is the next area which is looking good for tap and continuation lower. I think I've seen many times trading Bitcoin before the NY Open, and the one candle comes back and kisses my entry and goes back to take profit.
Yeah, I mean, there's an expectation sometimes as well that the US session can kind of do the opposite of everything else, right? So I think that can be difficult to navigate. I mean, I still feel like gold downside makes sense, but we've opened outside of value, so to me it makes sense that we probably go and retest those kind of Friday levels. It's not always the case when you get a gap that the market goes and closes the gap. It's not always the case, so you have to be very careful. But again, I think
should we take profit or hold onto our sell positions? I think if it depends on where your entry price is at and what risk reward you're targeting. Guide one.
When you say we,
yeah,
you mean
he is following your footsteps.
Whoa.
And there is a lot of selling pressure I see, and market is showing good strength. Let me share the motive. And so there's a lot of selling coming in, and the bearish candle should maintain the pressure. If it fails, then it might reach. I mean, we already tapped the area which I marked in the trading view, which is this range low. So if price breaks above, the entire narrative will change. But if we stay below this range and this range high, I'm particularly looking for bearish continuation. And if I zoom out, and not this chart, but 15-minute looks cleaner, that it is not gold. It's not gold. It's something else. Let's go on the 15-minute. I know it looks really weird, but it makes sense. So so you can see clearly that the price is tapping the low volume area. So it's the entry area is safe as for now. It's edge of the value area low and the high volume node, and the next station is this range. And if I drag and drop it from here until this, not like this. So the point of control of the previous daily candle is at this low, but I assume that this level where we have 4071 makes sense to take the profits. So let's see what happens. Going back to lower time frame because high time frame is scary. Let's see. And the bad thing I see on right now is there's a lot of selling at the lows, and I want candle to be bearish. So if there is follow through, it is acceptance, and if there is no, then it will look at absorption. And there are a lot of buyers trying to buy this price. You can see the prices went lower.
How do you read this around market opens then? Do you trust the data around market opens still?
So it's only based on volume profile, So what I do is, if I zoom out, you will see that I have applied the volume profile from the daily open. But if I have to understand the current range, what I'll do is I'll apply it like we apply the Fibonacci tool. So the best swing high and swing low I find on my chart is this, and dropping it till here. And what I do is with delta profile, with the candle closing, I look at the area where market is more comfortable and absorption. So you can see that this area, I can see a lot of selling, but there is no follow through, and market is getting attracted towards the fair value, which is point of control, But if I see a lot of buying coming in, the best setup forms a lot of buying coming in, but there is no follow through, a lot of blue lines coming in, and candle is rejecting, means that buyers are trying, but sellers are taking price lower, which indicates that we are still safe and price will continue lower. But instead, I see that there's a lot of buyer, and the candle turns white or maybe green, or follows the flow of bulls. That indicates that price might continue higher. Right now, on my chart, I have to maybe decrease the tick value so we can see the exact increase the tick value so we can see the data. I see that the buyers are pushing price and there is follow through, but in this range we might reject again, or maybe the next resistance area is this, which is very, very high. So yeah, so that's the take on it. The worst thing on this price action is there is a lot of selling at the lower prices, but there is no lower low forming. You can see. So let's see how many likes do we have. Do we have 40 likes? And now if you can see a buyer coming in at this price level, previously we had many already. If price closes bearish with a big wick, then continuation lower makes sense. So what I always wait for is price to close the candle, or maybe go on 1 minute if the 2 minute is looking so volatile. I think same on NQ, same on every crypto coin.
So does it matter what time frame you're on to see these bubbles?
No, I think it's more on the trader and what type of trader he is. If you can use it on 15-minute as well, you just have to increase the volume bubbles, because there the small bubbles won't really help you to understand the volume in market. To be more deeper, I use footprint chart, which gives me confidence at how we are performing near the low volume areas. As you said earlier, that you know what what footprint is, but every single candle with a lot of data gives you a headache, or maybe it gives a lot of noise in the market. So you turn it off or maybe not use it. But how I use it is, when I see I'm in a trade and I have to understand that if market is going to take out my stop loss or not, I read the footprint. That if this candle has a lot of bid or ask, who is winning this war in this candle, if I see that there's a lot of buying and that's a very high that my stop loss might be taken, I close it. And that's what helped me to secure my my account many times. So that's why I'm using these tools with Japanese candlesticks. So if we talk about NQ, so you can see the NQ is rejecting this low volume area, and the 930 candle is this. And I don't use the I use the previous. I use the market open volume profile, but it is very important to use what we had in the previous range, so you can see the rejection. So this bull candle is not enough to scare me in this market. That okay, there are bulls, I should buy and go long, but there is low volume. What I'm going to do with that? So you can see that there is a lot of trade happening in this area. A lot of buyers and sellers are trying to make that trade happen. Selling when where the market actually follows the bubble, and entry at this level, stop loss at this high, and targeting the next high volume area, or maybe 1:1. Same on gold. So you can see that sellers are trying, but there is no follow through. There is a lot of selling coming in this range at the value of, by the point of control is shifted toward this 4089. Now the real question is, are sellers going to take control? And if I remove all of this stuff, or maybe hide it, It is nothing but the rejected area with a lot of numbers. It's kind of good to have those around, so you can get data and stuff. But for me, the absorption setup is the best to take. So you ask me that what thing I have taken from ICT is this setup. You can see right here is accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. At the manipulation, which is at this low, you see a lot of selling, but there's no follow through. There's the right time to go long and target the point of control of this range. I know it might sound stupid, but that's how I trade on the lower time frame, So it's a manipulation, absorption, and targeting where should market be attracted easily. That's a point of control. And that's how I'll end my trade on the 1 minute chart or sometime on 30-second chart. That's a George Ayush on low time. Yeah, it is a George. If I shift this to 1 minute, we'll have more flexibility to understand where to put the stop loss and stuff. So yeah. And I think the buyers are still, just not letting bears take control. So we are back in the range on gold. And also we have this low volume pocket. Or if we invert this, let's suppose if we invert this, come on, let me select the tool. Something like this can take place and price can reach this high volume area. So at the lows, a lot of selling, no follow through. I mean, it works only because it forms in many areas on lower time frame. On a higher time frame, it happens, or maybe prints maybe once a week. If I'm talking about 1 hour or 4 hour, so that's the reason I trade on lower time frame. So now let's apply back the volume profile from the swing high to the swing low. And you can see that price is rejecting at the value area high. If we see some rejection, then it will go lower.
Yeah, at the moment, it seems like the US session is agreeing with the lower oil price situation.
Yeah.
Right now. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
But, these markets aren't sane. They are very, very random. So that is why we're seeing probably unusual price action as what you would expect. Plus, we are coming into month end as well. Month end can change a lot of things in the markets. We see a lot of repositioning by funds as well, and we see a lot of random spikes in volatility.
Yeah. Oh, Robert is here. You can ask this guy. He might be doing that, what you just explained. It's filling the gap up on SPX and NQ. I mean, you mean it's going lower. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I think so, yeah, NQ filled the gap. NQ is filling the gap. And also, in a very strong support area. I think today's market is looking clean. I mean, who says Monday is bad? Monday is good.
I thought you were saying that.
There's someone else in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yo, 6i is saying 30 likes done with the happy emoji. No, bro. I said 40.
40 likes.
Yeah.
Should I go help out and like it? Or should I not? There you go. There's 32.
I don't know why. I think gold have. Why does it feel like gold have already taken support on the high time frame support level? Don't you think on the left, maybe price doesn't want to go in the range or want to look for higher prices?
Maybe. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, we've come back into it's kind of like Friday's highs, isn't it? That we're kind of rejected at the moment. I don't know. I think elevated yields still make me want to be a seller here, but again, it's where's the plan of that going to happen?
Prashant, we will do 40. Nice spirit. They're saying they'll do 40. Oh, so they are doing it. Actually, they're doing it. Now we have 36. Jonah, so you can see this. You can see this on my chart. The rejection.
Yeah, so I can see loads of selling has come in. We're starting to see some sell-off. Would you say that's decent follow-through, or would you say that's not good enough?
Yeah, I mean, more lower low, because this wicks and this wicks are not good. I want an actually good bearish candle close, and then we'll sell it.
We might see a move up to the
how to use
higher volume of the day before we see the move coming in.
Yeah,
it's always funny price action.
It is. It's been funny from starting.
Mm-hmm.
How to use volume profile. So the video is available on the channel, how to use the volume profile, and soon I'm gonna make a video on how I prepare for a day using volume profile from top-down analysis. So Akash, you can go on our channel, subscribe it, and there you'll find me and Anastasia, and soon Jono will be uploading a lot of content, and some is already there, which will help you in your journey. And if you're an ICT trader, we have some videos coming up as well. So I think things are already uploaded, which can help you understand the key areas in market. So make sure to watch them and leave a comment, and make sure to share it with your friend if he or she is, they are finding difficult in market to understand the key levels. Oh, it's 42 likes. Let me check it if it's 42. Yeah, it's 44. Okay, so what should we tell him to write, Roman? Who punched the wall in there? It's my neighbor. Simba Trades. Write Simba Trades in the chat. I'm gonna be the first one to write it. Trades. Simba Trades in the chat for the giveaway. And I see it coming in. I'll take a screenshot. And meanwhile, Jono, don't know what you're doing. You can just.
So I was just catching up on the chat. Just catching up.
There was a lot. Now you understand why
I was a bit lost in it, to be honest. I was like, what's going on here?
Which time frame better use in volume profile? So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm gonna make a video on, or maybe that's what we talk about every single day. Not every single day, but week on the Discord channel, where we take a lot of Q&As. So join there as well. Scrot. I'm gonna include myself in the race as well. I need an account.
Wait, let me do it then. Hang on. Has it closed yet?
No, I think you can still write it.
There we go.
Tradeify. Okay, so I'm extracting.
Luna wants the pink duck today. Do we get to choose ducks?
I think we can't. There are some people with crazy luck in the chat, and they win every time.
I want to be Trump duck. That's the duck that I want. Just because of the hair. I think the hair looks pretty good.
I think, yeah, you need more orange hair.
Is it a wig? Do we know that? Do you reckon it's a wig? It's got to be a wig, hasn't it?
I think, yeah. Because they always look the same. For years.
True.
I've actually ordered one.
What, a wig?
Yeah.
Donald Trump's wig, or just a wig in general?
Wig, and I'm looking for a mask as well.
Okay.
Let me know if you have some good suggestion. I'll buy it from there.
Sure. Is it a Donald Trump mask?
Yeah.
It is. Oh my god.
It is actually a proper one, but they I actually have to pre-order it. They make it, so it's not ready in stock. A daily day. Welcome back. Actually, I shared a video in which I was messing up with an auto driver using Trump voice.
Wait, you were playing around with his voice as well?
I don't know. Some people say it's good, so that's why I'm doing it.
Is this like for doing a video purpose, or you just buying this for fun?
No, might do it on the live. You might see Trump trading with you.
Oh, I want to see that. I want to see that pretty bad. Though I just asked Jonathan, can you look at the Ether monthly closing candle? What do you think of it? I mean, it looks like it's forming a... Oh, I was going to put the 2-month candle on there, but that doesn't really make sense. I mean, it looks like it's basically just absorbing the previous month's price action, doesn't it? June and was pretty bearish. July is just all the way back up. Interesting to see if that does stay above this area. I know that we've talked a lot about the correlation between the two. And we do have that kind of very similar price action here. But the difference is, like, Bitcoin's not necessarily near its kind of major support point. I'd say the major support point's a little bit lower towards this kind of like 54k area, whereas Ether's already kind of made it to that point. Although we could come a little bit lower, perhaps down into $1,000 maybe. I mean, if we get down here, that would be an interesting sort of area to look at buying, wouldn't it? Because you've got those kind of major highs, major lows situation going on. So, I mean, from a monthly perspective, it looks like it's just basically reversing last month's price action. I think if you get a bullish close above the previous month's high, that's a different story. I think can be pretty bullish. But this just looks like it's forming a bit of an inside candle at the moment. Inside candles can create breakouts.
So you said inside candle. So something what Mike uses as well. So how you see inside bar candles? So maybe.
I mean, inside candles are good. They're actually very good on gold. If you actually look at inside daily candlesticks on gold, they're pretty good to use because usually they're a lower range as well. I prefer ones that are very small in range. So if you have a really small range inside candle, so like this one, right? Very small inside candle range, then usually you get quite a big breakout of that. So, you know, when I say inside candle, it just means that price action has formed within the previous month's price action. Just shows that basically there's indecision, or there could be indecision or lack of participation, however we want to look at it. But usually in these type of situations, you can look for, a breakout continuation, or, a false breakout and a continuation within the sort of price action that you're looking at. So I like using inside candles on sort of, gold and things like that. If you go back and test on a daily chart, very sort of small inside candles on gold, you'll find that a lot of the times you get quite strong breakouts, and you can look for decent opportunities. So look at this one, for example. Inside candle, we break the high, we fail, we actually form a bearish engulfing candle, and then we see a sort of a decent continuation. So again, there can't be anywhere on the chart. You have to be. Yep, sorry.
Sorry to interrupt you. Look at gold.
Is it flushing lower now?
Yeah.
See, I told you.
Yes. Yes. After the, when you said the reversal confirmation, I don't know if I'm sharing the right tab. Yeah, it is the right tab. Can you switch over to my screen, producer? So yeah, I can see a lot of bubbles, and this confirmation was not enough for us near this wick. This candle is something which gives me that okay, we're going lower,
Yeah, you got that sort of lower low, lower close.
Yeah. Now we can just see that the price going lower. So that was a really good trade after the NY open on the gold. NQ is gonna fill the wick as well. So today is a wick fill day. Sorry, not a wick, but a gap fill day.
It makes sense, doesn't it? I think the way that prices jumped. I don't think it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, going back to the job, extracting names.
Seems to be a lot of action going on there now where you are. Let me see if there's been any headlines coming out. We obviously had a little bit of data earlier as well. So the durable goods order month on month came in at 0.3% versus the forecast of 2.5%. So nowhere near forecast, but we did see a beat of the previous, which was -4%. So that's quite interesting to see. See if there's any kind of data here as well.
Screenshot, and yes, I'm sharing it.
We've got a little bit of more action coming up today in terms of note sales, but other than that, let's see if we had any decent headlines. Nothing really. I said there's anything here. Nothing from Trump yet. So
he's chilling today.
He's chilling today. Maybe he's had the day off. Maybe that's why there's been no strikes. He's had a bit of a break.
Yeah.
He's thought I just need to chill.
So we're ready with the ruck race.
Oh, okay.
And I'm excited to see if you got a Trump duck or not, because there is Trump. You can see this orange hair. And we have 3 minutes, and it's on my screen. It is not my screen, but thank you so much. And yeah, without the sound, let's see who is it. Okay, that's not your duck, unfortunately. No. It's Murnon. Look at the clown duck.
What duck am I? I'm just a plain duck. I got like a boring duck.
Where you are?
I'm next to Trump.
Oh yeah.
Trump's blocking my view right now.
Let's see, where is Spy? Spy is doing bad. I think where Tradeify crypto.
It's dropping hard.
With cap. You look at Roman coming silently with the cap on. I don't know what he's wearing at the bottom. Let's see. Oh no, there's a lot of crowd in here. Prashant. DDCV alien duck. Where am I? Luna, you should not ask. You should not say that.
You're in the. You've got a 13 on you. Oh, is that you there?
Yeah, right. She is there for the plain duck. Where is my? I think you have to find that, Akash. There are a lot of ducks in which some will be in the middle, some will be in the bottom. Which I don't know. I can't find myself as well. Akash, there you are. You can see yourself. Maybe I should use my mouse. You can see you're a panda duck. Oh, I'm basic today again. How do we get 40 ducks but we're only 20 people? That's the question I'm asking from day one. How do we get 40 likes when we have 20 people? How to buy duck? How to buy duck? That's something Jonathan would share. He already ordered some. You can order for yourself as well. Roman, you are detective. Where is Roman? I think the king, maybe Roman is over here with the cap. 38 seconds. Clown is trying to win the race, but he's not gonna win, I guess. It's someone from the bottom. Goroboro. This guy comes only for giveaways. Never say hi in the chat. Okay, 16 seconds. Million. Imagine if this guy wins. He should give away account to us.
Oh my god, I'm coming up. I'm number 12 as well. That's my lucky number.
It's Prashant.
Oh.
Prashant F7Z2C. Let us know if you are us in the chat, and if yes, you should add your email to your description in order to claim your account. Write one or something in the chat so we see you. Okay, hi. Okay, man, you have to add your email to your description, and I see there is nothing, so make sure to add it. You want 5k to sub account with Tradeify crypto, where you can trade 24/7 and trade tokenized stocks and a lot more, and packs as well, which is gold, which I like to trade always. And I think that's it for today. It is the last week of July with a really good gap in the market, where you saw Prashant winning an account, and he will trade it for us and give us some share, to fund us. And so we can show up every single day. I think the joke didn't land it well on that note. Yeah, we are at extreme, So Jonathan, THHAN, Jonathan, anything before we end the stream?
No, good one today. I hope everyone has a successful trading day. It's going to be very difficult. Be vigilant. It's going to be an interesting one. So yeah, thank you for today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys, and see you tomorrow at the same time on the same channel. Bye bye.